What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 241. My name is Harrison, and I'm joined by my co-host, my brother Nick. How you doing, buddy?
Brother, I'm good.
Brother,
I'm doing good. Down in sunny Florida still for another week.
yeah,
So
sweet.
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Good. Well, we don't have much to talk about this week. I have been light on the gaming. I think my next purchase, I want to get Dragon's Quest. And I may get that. I always get a game for Thanksgiving break.
That Thanksgiving game, it
Little-
it hits.
Yeah,
that RPG, the Thanksgiving RPG.
Oof. And there's no Pokemon right now, which is the usual one that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'll ever do that again with
After Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah, that game was so just not great.
Just bad.
Yeah. So so thinking about getting that.
Well, speaking of which,
Yeah.
Harrison, I want to show you my Black Friday haul.
I saw it on Twitter, but I want to see it in person now. Or
Yeah, man.
We're live.
So I'll preface, one of them wasn't on sale. So
Okay.
First one on the list here is Dragon Quest
Heck
3.
yeah.
I told you guys, but I tried to find it a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago.
You went
And
to Target,
I came
didn't you?
home, went to Target,
Yeah.
sold out, and I came home with Brothership.
It's crazy.
So I picked that up and then picked up SMT5 Vengeance.
Did you not already? Oh no, that was the regular one, didn't it? That you had?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
played about 50 hours of SMT and
So
didn't
now it's time
finish
to
it.
restart.
Now it's time to restart. I heard this story is a lot better, and
Okay.
it has like different areas and a lot of like quality of life improvements. Like you can save anywhere now, whereas beforehand you had to pick certain spots to save that.
Yeah.
So I'll get into that eventually. And then the last one I got, SMT5 is on sale for $25.
Okay.
So pretty cheap for
Pretty
having
good
just
deal.
coming out this summer. Yeah. And then Final Fantasy 1 through 6
Ooh.
collection. Yeah, this one looks sweet.
Yeah. I
Um,
was thinking about picking that one up too.
this one's like $50. It's normally 80.
Yeah.
So pretty good deal. I've only played Final Fantasy 3 on the DS, so
Yeah,
I've not
same.
played like any of the other Final Fantasies. I played a little bit of 4 on the DS as well, but I'm really excited to play 6 and to kind of like get into 3 and 4 again.
Yeah.
So
Sweet. That's a good
that's
little
my
haul.
haul. Yeah, excited.
Where
Yeah.
did you go to games? You said you went to GameStop?
No, just through Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of GameStop, we went to the mall on Thursday. We were just kind of browsing to get an idea of what the kids wanted. We took them with us, and I went into GameStop and we got a couple of different things. And I re-upped my membership. They swindled me, but and I don't know. I know you know that they do PSA cards, like you can trade them in, but they also will. And it's only like $17, the guy said. They'll take your non-graded card, send it to PSA, grade it for you, and then they'll send it to your house, which is really cool.
$17. That's cheaper than going through.
Yeah, I think
PSA.
normally it's like $40 or $50, maybe 30, something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think when we did it, I got like a special deal.
Yeah.
Where if you did like 10 plus cards, you got like each card for $20 each. But normally, it's
Pretty
30
expensive.
to 40.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I was like, well, Christmas is coming up. I'll probably be in here some more, getting some other stuff. So I was like, I'll take the discounts, I guess. But so yeah, I did that for the year. So if you're ever in GameStop, just give them my number. And you can use it. But yeah, good old GameStop. But the guy was super nice. Like, he didn't.
He's got to sell it.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, we were making a conversation. We were talking about Pokemon cards and collecting and stuff like that. And then towards the end, like when I was checking out, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of collecting, it's like I don't know if you ever trade it, like you ever get your cards graded, but we do this now or something." So I was like, "Okay, all right." It's like you swindled me, but it wasn't like aggressive about it.
Right. It's just hey, just so you know. I mean,
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Like, and I know you can sell your cards then too. I think you just said that, but
yeah. So I might do
cool.
it for a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's dive into what we've been playing. Again, I have not been playing much of anything. I played a little Call of Duty. I'm kind of falling off on it a little bit. Um,
Okay, it's been out for a month,
yeah,
right?
I played a lot of the multiplayer. Uh, it's just getting a little bit too sweaty for me. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'll probably play it here and there, but um, so I've been playing that a bit. Still got to do the single player. And then Pokemon. I still been doing that. Still been doing my my daily openings. I think
The
I forgot
dailies.
to cancel like the 2 week
I did
trial,
too.
and then I ended up canceling it after the fact. But so I got it until like December, so whatever.
Yeah.
They got me for $10, but uh, yeah, I mean I finished up that Lapras event for the like all the single player stuff. I've gotten all that finished. And on the multiplayer side, I got the 45 wins. I've been occasionally playing some multiplayer, just playing around with like the decks. I do think like the deck building is fun, um, and finding out different deck variants that you can do. But
Yeah.
I've definitely fallen off on it a little bit. Still doing my dailies, but um, yeah, still great.
I mean, I guess the question is, what would bring you back into it? Do you think new events,
Yeah, I mean,
like more
and like they
challenges, or
just they
what?
just added like the fire event, where
Hmm.
they kind of switched up the wonder picks a little bit. And I mean, I think I did that within a couple of days, so that's already been done. So yeah, maybe some longer single player events. Um, yeah,
I mean, that
new
Lapras
packs
one
and
was
stuff
pretty
too.
long, but that being said, like you could finish it in a few days.
Yeah, if you're really grinding it. So,
Right.
um, maybe make the events a little bit shorter. So they're kind of more frequent, I guess is the best way to do it, maybe. But I mean, the game's what, been out for a month, maybe, right? A little longer than a
Yeah.
month.
If that, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not that long, but there's just not a lot to it, I guess. So
Right. And I think once they add trading and once they start adding like new booster packs,
yeah,
that'll make it more intriguing and more enticing to come back. But I see what you're saying. Like this game didn't necessarily hold me as long as something like Marvel Snap did,
yeah,
whereas that one had me for like 2 months at least of playing every day.
yeah,
But this one, yeah, now I'm just opening up to open some packs, do some like do your daily rewards, get all that stuff. I'm building up, man. I'm building up for the new boosters that are coming out. I'm building up those hourglasses.
yeah. I didn't even think about doing that, but yeah, I need to start doing that now. Um,
Hmm.
but my son plays with me, so he's constantly wanting to open up the booster packs and getting that notification. It's booster pack open time. It's still a good feeling.
See,
Um,
I have my notifications off,
oh
so I
really?
don't even see it. I just go in. I'm like, oh,
Sweet.
I have another 5 hours until there's a booster pack,
Yeah,
or oh, there's two ready right now.
yeah. So see, that's still fun. I mean, I've gotten out most of the collection, so like we don't really hit on anything anymore. So it's a ton of repeats.
Right.
So little bit of a bummer when that happens, but when we do get the occasional new card or a full art card, it's still pretty exciting. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Still fun.
yeah. I don't know, man. This game could be on my top 10 potentially. I don't know. We'll see.
This might end up being like a pretty crazy top 10.
Yeah, this
There's kind of like a lot of like out of left field, didn't see him coming games.
yeah,
It's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun conversation.
yeah, for sure.
And yeah,
So yeah, that is all I have been playing. Nick, tell me about Brothership because you are deep into it.
I'm deep into it. I freaking love this game so much. This is probably out of the three Mario RPGs that have come out in the past year. So Super Mario
It's a lot.
RPG, yeah, it's a lot. Um, Paper Mario, and then this one. This is probably my favorite because the combat is so good. There's so many elements to it. You have, all like the timing based combat. You have your jumps and your hammers and your bros moves, which are like super, super cool, like very like anime style
Yeah,
moves. And then you have like the battle plug system, which are pretty much like modifiers to all of your abilities that will run out and have to recharge. So you're constantly switching out those battle plugs, and it just makes the game really fun to play. So I'm 31 hours in at this point, and I'm on like second from the final boss, like the penultimate boss.
Okay.
And man, I've never had more of a problem with an IGN review than I do with their 5 out of 10 for this game.
I honestly feel like I don't know. I read the review. Well, I listened to the video, and then I had listened to the guy talk to on a Kind of Funny. Um, and it feels like what I would have to say about these types of games, just because. And granted, I haven't played Brothership, so I don't know. But just going back and looking at the other games, they are very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
And after a while, that really kind of gets to me, and it really just makes me put the game down. But so I don't know how different that one is.
I mean, this was very dialogue heavy, but I think I like the characters in this world, and I like the theme. The theme is about building connections and things being better when you're working together. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's this affliction that the bad guys are putting on people of Concordia, where it's like making it inflicts them, and it makes them want to isolate, and it makes them want to like have nothing to do with anybody else.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so like there's this whole arc where you're marrying two people, one from an ice land and one from a fire land, and they have like they're like a rivaling nations, and they both make their own food, and they're like, oh, my food's best, and then you try them and you're like, well, they're better together. And then you have two people that are marrying each other, and it's kind of just like connecting everyone together.
That's cool.
And bringing people together. I think it's really cool, and like it's not like heavy. It's the dialogue isn't like super serious or anything like that. It's kind of lighthearted. But yeah, I really like this world, and one of the complaints of the IGN review was, well, one of them is like, oh, you see your typical like sand world, your fire world, your ice worlds, and in this game there are like 15 plus islands that you go to, and out of those 15, one of them is a pure fire, one of them is a pure ice, one of them is a mixture of the two, and then there's like one sand one, and then the rest are like pretty varied. Like it's not like you're getting your standard sets of levels, kind of like you do in something like a Super Mario Bros. Game.
Yeah.
So it's different in that regard. And then one of the other major complaints that I've seen from not only from IGN but from other places is that you do a lot of like backtracking in the last 10 or so hours of the game.
Yeah.
And that it's kind of the case because you do get back to a few islands, but you're kind of hitting different parts of those islands and doing different segments of them. So it's not necessarily retreading the same ground. But I haven't finished it. I know after I beat the penultimate boss, I have to go back and do some other stuff, and I don't know how long that takes, and that might change my my opinion on the whole backtracking thing. But
yeah,
at this point, I don't see how my experience could be impacted by that, since I've enjoyed it for the 31 hours that I've played.
Yeah.
Right. Like nothing feels like it's dragging on too long. Like it feels like a pretty well-paced game, but this could all just be because I saw those low reviews going in, and I'm like, this game's gonna suck. Yeah. And then I played it and was
pleasantly surprised by it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I haven't played a Mario and Luigi game since Bowser's Inside Story on the DS. So it's been time. I know you played the Dream one.
Dream
so
game, yeah.
Between us, we've played like all of them except for the one before this game. So I think it's great, man. I think it's really great. People should give it a shot. If you didn't vibe with Mario RPG, you might like this one better. I think the combat is miles better in this game than it is in that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm glad you like it. I don't know. I may check it out in the future. I don't know.
I'll I'll loan it to you after I finish it.
Oh, you got.
You
Oh,
just
that's
check it
right. You
out.
did get it physical. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I'm getting more into buying physical Switch and PS5 games.
I am too. I've been buying, like, I didn't think I was going to be buying a ton of PS5 games physical, but I have been.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
so and then Switch is just, I don't know. I love the Switch cartridges and stuff like that. I mean, it's a little
I love the
annoying.
cases.
Yeah, the
They're so
cases.
great.
Yeah, it's a little annoying when, like, you're in bed and you're like, I want to play this, and you're like, I gotta get up and then find my game, find the
I
games,
switch it
whatever.
out.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I don't know which game I'll get into next. Maybe Dragon Quest 3
yeah,
HD 2D. We'll see.
yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
If I don't end up picking it up this week. All right, well, let's jump into the news and talk about that. Nick, you wanna take this off?
So another week, another set of rumors, right? So there are like multiple leaks that are kind of agreeing with each other that are saying that Switch 2, codenamed Ounce, presumably it's named Ounce because it's super light. I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
know where that code name is coming from or what it means if it's real. Uh, but these leaks are saying that Switch 2 is going to get revealed in January with a March release date. So
Which
that's
is,
a
I think that, I mean, I
3 month
think
turnaround.
that's what everyone kind of thought. I mean, that's what I like. Once you know October came and went, November's almost over. I think we've been Team 2025 for a few months now. So that's what make if it's gonna announce if it's gonna come out early next year. I think January reveal time, and then show it off for what it is. Maybe give us a pricing. I don't
Mhm.
know, and then have a reveal date. Again, they don't. It's the Switch 2. They don't need months and months and months and months of marketing. They can reveal it and then have it out in a few months. And that's kind of what Nintendo has been doing, has always done for a long time with their directs. They'll announce something. They might have something like a Prime where it's like, okay, this is next year. But most of the stuff they announce in their directs come out within a couple of months. So that just makes sense.
Yeah. Mario Party, Echoes of Wisdom, and Mario and Luigi all revealed and released within a few months.
Yep.
So I mean that makes sense. And my only hesitation with believing this rumor is Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out in March,
Yeah.
and they've already opened pre-orders for that for the Switch release. Do you launch the Switch 2 alongside Xenoblade Chronicles? And if you do you have a Switch 2 upgrade for it?
I think if the Switch 2 comes out, yeah, I mean, because we just don't know. I don't think there's going to be a dual release. I don't think they're going to. I mean, they might, but obviously it'd be kind of weird if that launched on the same day, as the Switch. It'd be cool if the Switch 2 came out, you know, early in March or something like that, and then there's just because I mean there's going to be games coming out for Switch for years to come. I mean it's
Yeah.
there's so many units on the market. There's all the developers are going to be making new and old games for Switch and Switch 2. Um, so I don't know if they're going to have a Switch 2 version. If assuming obviously the Switch 2 is backwards compatible. Maybe they'll have a certain amount of games that they do over time where they enhance them for the Switch 2, like you just said.
And we do know
And
it's going to
maybe
be
that
out.
would, and maybe Xenoblade's
Yeah.
one of those, and they'll have that, ready to go for when it launches in March, in late March. So
Yeah. Because I mean, that would be a great compromise because I think the sentiment with having waited so long for Xenoblade Chronicles X is that well we're this far along, we might as well they might as well wait until the Switch 2 and
yeah,
release it on there. This could kind of be the best of both worlds where they release it on the Switch and sell it as a Switch game, but when you boot up the Switch 2 for the first time and it shows you all of the game, like all the exclusive games and all
yeah,
the Switch games that can be enhanced, that one's on there. and that's
And
one of the
I
games that
wonder, like,
gets it.
going forward, if assuming that they have a boost, if they're, I mean, we don't know if they're going to do that or not.
Yeah.
We know it's backwards compatible, but we don't know if they're going to be boosted with the Switch 2's power. So, assuming it is, I wonder if they rebrand the box, like some of the boxes that says enhanced with Switch 2 or something like that. So if they, I don't know if they're going to. I mean, the rumor has it that there's going to be a Breath of the Wild kind of, you know, Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
Um, if not, I wonder if, like, yeah, Breath of the Wild is just going to say enhance or Switch 2 or something like that. I think that would make a lot of sense if they're going to do that.
Right. Okay, so sorry, I was checking if you could pre-order the physical edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and you can.
You can. Okay.
So maybe, I mean, maybe they swap it out once the Switch 2 is revealed. Maybe they swap out this box art that they're showing. Maybe they're actually shipping a version that has Switch 2 plus 2 enhanced on it. If that ends up being the case, because this game could be a pretty good graphical showcase for what the Switch 2 could do if it's getting an upgrade. This is all
Yeah.
a bunch of assumptions, but
And what? There's two different listings on the GameStop website,
really,
and they're the same. Both release March 20th.
huh? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Oh yeah,
There's definitely two though. I'm not sure. I don't see there's no difference with the box art. So maybe I mean maybe, but why? But I don't know why there would be two listings. It would just be one. Still, who knows?
yeah. That is kind of weird that there's two listings.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Switch. Maybe there is a Switch 2 version. Hmm.
I don't
Interesting.
know, man. You might have just found a little nugget.
Some juicy news.
Some juicy news right there.
Cool. But yeah, I am pretty excited about that game though. I'm
Yeah.
happy that it's coming to the Switch. Maybe there's gonna be a Switch 2 version. That could be cool. Um. So yeah, I think, like, if we're looking in terms of, like, okay, if it's definitely gonna be revealed in January and released in March, I would say it would be weird to have it come out the same day as Xenoblade, just because it's not like a Switch 2 exclusive game. But
Hmm.
I mean, because it's when did the Switch 2 or the Switch come out? Was it the 7th or the 6th?
I think it was the third.
Oh, that's right. It was the third. Okay. So I mean, you've got the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, or the 27th is when. Because I'm assuming it's going to release on a Thursday,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
sounds
I
like a
could.
3-day weekend
Yeah,
to me.
I could see it coming out a couple of weeks before
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles. I think you're right. I think it'll launch with, some sort of Mario game, maybe Metroid Prime, maybe not. And then you have something like the Xenoblade Chronicles X that comes out a few weeks later and
Yeah.
and has a version for the Switch too. But then, like,
See,
what about games? What about Donkey Kong that comes out in January? That one's not going to get a Switch 2 upgrade.
no. Yeah, that one's weird. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know why they're releasing that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's gonna sell what it sells either way. Um, but yeah, that one's a little weird. If these reports are true or correct,
Right.
and it gets revealed in January. So yeah, it's because when is that game? When does that game come out? January 16th.
Hmm.
Hmm. So it's like right in the middle.
Yeah, and I don't like thinking
So
about a
with
timeline of when they reveal it. It wouldn't be the first week of January because of New Year's.
yeah,
So it would, I mean, that leaves 4 weeks within January to release it, and I'm sure part of that's going to be marketing for.
And do you think that they
Donkey
wait
Kong.
before,
I don't know. That's
like let
weird.
it let Donkey Kong come out on the 16th, and then maybe that following week is when they reveal the Switch 2, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. I just know as soon as January 1st hits, it's going to be just Twitter going crazy, YouTubers going crazy. Okay, this is the week. This is the
Pe-
week.
pe- People love to make that statement. Like, there's just like a simple statement, but saying the Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed this year.
Yeah,
Like, people love doing that on X.
it's so annoying.
I know.
That's how it was at the beginning of this year. It's like, okay, this is when the Switch 2 can get revealed. It's coming this year, this year, this year. And then I
Man,
think
it's so
March happened, and I think that's when the reports that had gotten internally delayed, maybe. So
yeah,
I don't know.
so crazy. We went into 2024 thinking that, well, not thinking, but like seeing rumors that Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door had a Switch 2 version,
Yeah,
and like all these games had Switch 2 versions because they look too good for the Switch, and the Nintendo doesn't have a lineup for the second half of the year,
but they
that kind of
never
stuff.
do. That's why. That's
They
why.
never, yeah, they never do.
That's why I don't
They all,
understand
yeah,
why people are using that as the storyline. Like we never know what Nintendo's doing. They always tell us with the directs. That's why they do these directs during the year to let us know. We'll have the early time, the early January, February, March. They'll reveal that stuff in September, and then we'll know. But since we didn't get a direct, we really don't know what's coming these next several months. But it could be because Switch 2 is about to get revealed.
yeah. It's like normally the September Direct covers, December through February.
Yeah.
Then you have the February Direct, which covers all the games until June, and then you have the June Direct, which covers the rest of the year.
Yep.
And yeah, we didn't have a September Direct. We got Twitter drops or a Twitter drop for Xenoblade Chronicles. So, I mean, it's clear they're kind of like at the end of the cycle here.
I
But
think people are just getting anxious. Like they're just ready, and
yeah,
I know we are too. Like it's like, all right, come on, like just reveal it already. just
right.
I mean,
with,
you let us know it's real and it's a thing, but it's like, God, just
right
let us see it what it is.
in the suffering, because we know, like, for like there were reports that came out this week that said uh, the stockpile of systems they have for this launch is like 2.5 times as many as they have for the Switch.
Yeah, which is great.
So they're ready. Like, they've been in production.
Yeah,
Like, they're grinding them out. So it's got to happen at some point.
it's got to happen. Just let us know. Just let it. And it's crazy because like obviously they don't want to reveal it in the holidays because they still want the Switch to sell. I can't believe they didn't do a price drop. This is insane. They've never done a price drop.
I mean, I think at this point they just do it when they
have the
put out
Switch
the
2
Switch
come
2.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have done it if it was me. I would have done it this year for at least for the holiday. Like, say, hey, here's our holiday price, and then just leave it like that, and just never adjust it.
Right.
Because I mean, yeah, I mean, Matt, like the Switch Lite could have come down to like $150 or like $100, and then the Switch OLED could go down like to $250, something like that.
Or is the Switch Lite just their price drop? Like, that's just like the budget version you can get,
Yeah.
and they're not going to reduce the price. I mean, I think the OLED could go down to 300, and maybe they phase out the OG.
The OG, yeah.
But it is weird. It's weird that they never once.
Not once. I think there's a couple of times, like maybe some of the retailers had dropped it for a little bit, but yeah, there's never been an official price drop. That's just insane to me.
But I guess when you think about Xbox and PlayStation, like, they had price increases.
Yep.
In some territories or some countries. Maybe just production costs for these systems just never went down enough
Not
where they
like
could
they did in the
justify it.
past.
Yeah, because like in the DS and 3DS era, like those were dirt cheap by the end. I mean, the Wii's were they were practically giving those things away
Yeah, I
by
mean,
the end of those
I
life
think the
cycles.
lowest like the 2DS got down, like the door stopper
The
one.
door stopper.
I think that was like as low, and I kick myself because it was that Christmas. I think the Zelda edition was like $100 maybe, and I didn't get it, and now I'm kicking myself because that thing is $300 now.
Yeah,
Um, but whatever. But yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been one. But yeah, like you said, I think as soon as the Switch 2 comes out, it's assuming it's going to be like $400. I think that's the sweet spot. Um, yeah, I think those other ones will get a permanent price drop.
right. I mean, the PS2 that one was down to like $80
Yeah, it was.
by the end. That's how it hit the 160 million. And the Switch is doing it without a price drop. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the light going down to like $100, like $99. Like that.
Mhm.
That's pretty. That would be pretty insane to see that.
Yeah. I guess my final question on this is, do you think the Switch 2 is going to have multiple SKUs? Do you think it's going to have a light at launch, or do you think that's something that would come down the line?
Hmm. I mean, no, I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be one SKU. Um, I mean, maybe they do the light thing again next year or something like that. And then they can certainly do an OLED screen if they wanted to as well. But I don't know, because I definitely don't. I mean, unless, and I don't see them doing. They still sell so many physical. I don't see them doing like a digital version of the
No.
Switch. Um, so yeah, I think it's gonna be one SKU. Well, what about you?
See,
What are you thinking?
yeah, I think it'll be one SKU. One SKU, one like differentiating set of Joy Cons that makes this Switch 2 stand apart from the Switch 1.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think it'll have OLED. I think the screen will be better than the original Switch,
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a
but
1080p screen, so it's gonna look
it's gonna look good.
it's gonna look pretty good.
Yeah, but I
Because
think to
I just
get
couldn't
it,
see them having two SKUs for Switch 2, and then still having the light, the base, and then the OLED. That's too much. Too much.
it's too much. I think we've learned from launches like the Series X and S from the Wii U that having multiple SKUs is just it adds confusion.
Yeah,
I know the Switch
especially
had the
Xbox.
multiple
Like
Joy Cons, but
Xbox is just dumb. Like
yeah,
at least at PlayStation, you know in the branding what it is. Like okay, this is the digital only version of disk drive. The Xbox, it's like
what am I looking at?
yeah, it's Series. I mean, for obviously for us, like we know, but like okay, Series S, X. What's the difference? And I can't remember on the boxing for the series. I mean, I've never purchased one. Does it say digital only on there?
Yeah,
It does say that. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So I guess people. I mean, people can probably figure that out. But yeah, I wonder. I'm just now that we're talking about Xbox, I just wonder whatever they do next. And I don't think we talked about it, but I think Phil got interviewed and they said that the Xbox handheld is in the works, but it's years away at this point, which is a little
it's a bit of a bummer.
yeah, a little bit of a bummer. Or he could be lying. It could be next year.
Mhm.
Who knows? But so yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, I wonder, is that going to be the next thing? And it's obviously dockable to a TV. I don't know. I don't see Xbox making another set of consoles again, unless it's something unique like a handheld.
Yeah,
Especially
I
with their
mean,
Xbox.
especially after their
Everything's an Xbox strategy, like right now.
right.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think for Xbox and you know, I guess I'm fine with this because I'm mostly digital on Xbox, but they're going the all digital route.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
I think makes it easier to do that transition to a native handheld
Yeah, because you can just
and
download it
still
straight onto the
retain
thing,
your
and it's good.
yeah. Whereas like with PlayStation, and I think they're working on a
They're working on
handheld
something
as
too.
well,
Yeah,
but that transition would be harder for them, especially if they were like keeping the same ecosystem across both the PS5 and the handheld.
yeah.
Is what do you do with all those physical games that you have? Like, how can you can't bring those over to your handheld. Whereas with Xbox, everything's on Game Pass anyways. Like
Yeah.
you're not buying any physical. People aren't selling physical Xbox games anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's just something that people are just going to have to let go. Essentially, like they're still going to be making physical stuff for a while. I mean, I don't see it phasing out, in the next couple of years. But I think eventually it's going to be all digital, and Nintendo will probably be the holdout on their stuff.
because they got in early and they created hardware with. I mean, they created handheld hardware that had physical cartridges. Like they made
Yeah,
that hard cut between Wii U and Switch, which was a smart move.
yeah,
And now they can just continue to build off of the Switch's legacy, and you can keep your library because you can still use your cartridges.
and look,
And yeah,
Nintendo. Like, I mean, we just talked about how they never had a price cut. Like Nintendo's games, just they stay, their value holds. Like they hardly. I mean, they do sales, but it's only like 15. It's never like a 50% off for the most part. Um, so their games just hold a lot of value, I think. So I think they'll be the last holdouts for the digital era. But also they push that stuff too, with their game vouchers. So I mean,
yeah,
they're kind of just living the best of both worlds. So yeah, we'll see.
times are changing.
They are,
That's for sure.
they are. Yep. And like and I don't know. I mean, with Xbox going pretty much third party. I mean, obviously there's still things we don't know, like Halo, Gears. Like once that stuff goes over, like it's anything's possible. Like everything's just going to be third
Dude,
party.
I
I
think
don't
Gears is
think
launching on PlayStation.
you think
I think
so.
Gears
The new one.
EA. Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
would be the best route. I mean, it's a prequel. You don't have to know much about the story. I think it's a perfect one, and then they can do a
Dude, look
Gears
at Call of
collection or
Duty.
something.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's great. Like Call of Duty came out that it had its best launch
Yeah,
ever. Like most players, most matches played, whatever. I mean, I don't know how much money they made, but
oh, they
that's
still made a lot of
that's
money.
the
Game
yeah. I
Pass
mean,
subs
that's the
are up.
effect of launching a game into Game Pass and also releasing it on PS5.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think the next Halo will launch into PlayStation. I think the next Gears will.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
that's a smart move. I mean, people are gonna cry about it, and be weird over their plastic console, but I think it just makes the most sense. I mean, at the end of the day, what's it about? It's about making money, and that's what these companies want to do.
right.
I mean, they care about their fan base for because
Because they
those are the
keep
ones that have been buying it, but
buying stuff.
no one's buying Xbox games anymore. It's just on Game Pass, and that's it is what it is.
And I think it was kind of smart
Thanks, buddy.
to kind of shatter that glass with Sea of Thieves and with Hi-Fi Rush,
Yeah,
like kind of like destroy the narrative that games can't come to PlayStation with those kind of like not lower tier games, but lower popularity games.
yeah,
And then you slide in Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation as well,
yep,
timed exclusive for Xbox. And then you start, get to the newer games that are coming out like Fable, like maybe that comes on PlayStation.
yeah. I could see. I mean, we'll do a prediction show for the Game Awards. Is that next? That's not next week, is it? When does that come out
No, it's the
or
week
air?
after next.
The week after. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll do a show for that. But I mean, I could see like Gears getting showed again, and it's gonna be like you said, announced for PlayStation as well. I could definitely see it. But yeah, that's the thing too. It's like with the Xbox and how I don't see them making another traditional console unless it's the handheld. I don't even know if I would even want a new Xbox. Like if it's just a more powerful Series X, I
Mhm.
think I'm good. I don't think I need to get that with
Yeah,
their
I mean,
games being everywhere.
seeing the PS5 Pro and what that's doing, and cool. It's adding like 5 more shadows to the ground. It's adding more leaves. You can see someone's nose hairs. It, None of that stuff really matters that much,
It's
and
all diminishing
like none
returns at
of
this
it.
point. I mean, like
It's super.
I just
Yeah,
don't see game. I mean, obviously games can look better, but the hyper realistic look, like we're cutting the frame rate too much. Um, unless these consoles are going to be, I mean, we're already here with the PlayStation 5 Pro, so yeah, I don't know.
I just want to
I'm
point
good.
out.
Graphically, I'm good.
I want to point out how like happy we were talking about the Switch 2, and then how negative we are talking about the Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, and I like PlayStation. Like again, I've got the PlayStation this year,
Yeah,
and I mean all the games like Stellar Blade, Wukong, Silent Hill 2. I mean, gosh, incredible gaming experiences that I'm very happy that I got the PS5 for.
yeah.
Um, but I just seeing it, people, especially with like Balatro, like the TikTok that I made, there's still people like commenting on it about this. Oh, this game could be made back in 2000. Okay, yeah, graphically, yeah, it could. Yeah, you could say that about a lot of games that come out that are indie, but I don't know. Okay, who cares?
That's the problem with that's so annoying, and that like that really diminishes what indie games really do. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, this looks like a PS1 game. Well, yeah, no shit. It was made to look like a PS1 game.
yeah, that's the whole point. That's the art style.
Yeah,
I don't know. People just get
like
caught up on their Call of Duties and stuff like that with really great graphics, and they think that that's like the end all be all for games. So who knows? Um, and Nick, you want to read the last story that we get?
yeah. So this is like super conjecture, but today Nintendo retweeted. I forgot what the company was, but they're making like a Metroid Prime 1 through 3 retrospective book that's
Okay,
coming out summer of next year.
okay,
And another leaker came out and was like, this Metroid Prime 2 is going to launch somewhere between Donkey Kong Country and Xenoblade Chronicles X.
okay.
So February timeframe. Um, so that got me thinking, like, if this is coming out, if it's coming out early next year, would we see this announcement at the Game Awards, or do you think it would be some sort of shadow drop similar to Prime One?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the book now. Yeah, I mean, I could see, if they, I mean, Nintendo's always kind of weird with the Game Awards. They show up, but they don't have a lot to show usually.
Right.
Um, but I could see Prime 4 being here, and then they're like, oh, by the way, Metro Prime 2 is either going to be Shadow Drop that night, or coming in February of next year, whatever, early next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely. I mean, because
The
other than if they don't, I mean, it's a possibility that Switch 2 gets revealed at the Game Awards. I don't think it's going to happen. But what other game? I don't think they're going to show anything for the Switch 2 without us knowing about the Switch 2 officially. So other than Metroid Prime 4, what other game could they even announce or bring up that we don't know about?
maybe the Fire Emblem remake that's been
Or Zelda or something?
rumored for a while. I don't think
But like,
anything
but
Zelda.
I don't think. I mean, the remakes
That
would be
that's not
cool to
really like a
show.
TGA announcement.
Yeah, it's just kind of just a Twitter drop kind of thing, or just in a random direct or something.
But you could also say that about Bayonetta Origins. That was a TGA announcement.
Yeah, but it was a new game.
Okay.
It wasn't like a remake or anything
Okay.
like that. Um, and I think they probably wanted to get that game at the Game Awards just as get all the eyes on the game as possible. It probably wouldn't have done as well without it. Maybe I don't know how well that game sold, but um, yeah. So Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Prime 4 is going to be there. I have a feeling it's gonna show there. That would be
You think
huge.
they just show like a mission
Yeah,
or
I
like
think they.
like a longer like a 2 minute gameplay?
Yeah, I think that they show like an
That
uncut 3 to 4 minute gameplay, um,
could be cool.
and maybe give us a release date. I mean, that would be crazy. But if they don't give us a release date, they could say, "Hey, Prime 2 and maybe 3 is going to be playable," or something like that.
Yeah, I guess yeah, because if they mention 2 and mention 4, it's like where's 3? You know,
Yeah,
you can't mention both of those without mentioning 3.
yeah, and I think it'd be smart to get 2 and 3 out before 4 comes out next year. Just so they're all on the. I mean, just so they're all on the Switch, you know.
Right.
So I think that's
It's just so weird because like when Prime Remastered came out in early 2023, both of us were sure that 2 and 3 were coming within a year
I mean, that's what Jeff Grubb was saying. I mean, he's been teasing Prime for or talking about Prime
for half
for
his
a
life.
while.
But
Yeah, half his life and all of his hair. Um, and then I think he was pretty because he was. I remember him saying something about like May of this year they were going to talk about Prime, um,
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
have like a marketing campaign and stuff. And then he said, but then I think he said that was like an old email, so things probably had changed. But and then obviously we got Prime 4, showing up at the latest direct. Um, so maybe that stuff did change. I don't know. But yeah, I would like to see 2 and 3 come pretty, prior to 4.
yeah.
Because I
I'm
think
sure they're sitting on them, like just sitting on these completed
ready to go. Just
remasters, and yeah, just ready at a moment's notice. It's
I think
weird, man.
we've got this ready to go. I mean, we don't. I guess we don't know for sure if they sit on games, but if they do, like, no other company does that. I guess no other
No.
company has. Um, I don't know.
Well, Brothership was rated like a year before it released,
Oh,
which
really?
means that it.
It
I
was
mean, it doesn't mean
majority.
it was finished, but the majority of the content was completed, and
Yeah.
then Fire Emblem Engage was rated like 450 days before release,
Jeez.
and that's why the that DLC came out like 2 weeks after launch
Yeah. Because
because it
they
was
got it ready to
all of it
go.
was done. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, they definitely sit on games, which is you're right. It's unlike any other company where they put out games before they finish them.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars Outlaws is going through a V2 situation right now where they're taking all the stealth out of it.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that. Is
That's
that live
crazy.
yet?
I don't think so. I think it's in I think it's in December.
Hmm.
It's on
Interesting.
sale right now though, if you want it.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I am sure it is.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think I definitely think that's a possibility of 2 coming out pretty soon. If not Shadow dropped at the Game Awards, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think Prime in general is the Nintendo thing that could show up
Yeah,
at the Game Awards. I think you're right.
I think
I
it's the
think
only thing. I mean, that and maybe they finally dropped the Zelda stuff, like the Wind Waker thing,
I don't know, man.
just to get it
That
out there. I
seems too
mean,
close.
that's the only those are the only 2 games right left that are on the Wii U era that haven't gotten any love. So, but I mean,
You forget about Star Fox. Star Fox Zero, brother.
I don't think I'm forgetting about that one.
I'm telling you, man, that game could be really good if it didn't launch on the Wii U. And
I
I
mean,
thought it was great on the Wii U.
okay, all right. I thought you did play it, didn't you?
Yeah,
Okay,
I played through it like 3 times.
dang. Okay,
It was a boring summer.
yeah, yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, I think that is going to wrap up the show. We appreciate everyone tuning in live, and downloading the podcast and listen to us. If you could review us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice, that would be awesome. We hope everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving with your loved ones. Eat some good food. Um, have a good time.
Relax, play some games, do some shopping. Do
Yeah,
whatever makes you happy.
yeah,
It's your time.
yeah. Like I said earlier, there's always that one game that is just a feel good game for like Thanksgiving break, and that may be Dragon Quest for me, or maybe I'll finally go back and play through Mario games, the ones that I haven't played.
Hey man,
Wonder,
let's not write promises we can't keep.
hey, I mean, Mario RPG was the game last year for me. That I
That
got
was
through
the Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
game.
Yeah,
It lived and died with Thanksgiving.
maybe it's the Thanksgiving curse because I did that with the Pokemon game, Diamond and Pearl. I picked it up during that, and I never finished that one. And before that, I don't know if there was a game before that.
If that was 2022, what came out in 2021? Dread came out in 2021, but that was October. Thanksgiving would have been. I don't think there was like a notable November game in 2021.
No. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe it's the Thanksgiving. I curse
Maybe
myself.
maybe
curse
this is the year
of breaking the
to
curse.
finish all those games that you
Oh,
didn't finish.
maybe. Okay.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder. You have like 2 hours left in that game. Super Mario RPG. That's short. It's a short game. Paper Mario. You've already played it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to play it again.
I do want to finish it.
What other Mario games haven't you finished?
I think it's just those three.
Those three.
Yeah. Wonder, Paper Mario, and RPG.
Oh, and Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
That one doesn't really count.
Nah, it's okay. I had a good
I still
time.
need to play that.
Yeah, I mean, I played through like 5 or 6 levels and did everything. It's just so easy that there's like hardly any.
But it's like slow and easy, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like the movement is so slow. But I mean, it was okay. I mean, we both got it on sale for like $30, so I think that's what the price should have been anyways. But
yeah,
and it was
so.
what, $50, right? It was still like kind of a budget title anyways.
Yeah, it was 50.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird year for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's been kind of a little bit of a boring year, I would say. There hasn't been like that game, like even Zelda didn't really hit for me in that way. Yeah.
The week after the Game Awards, we should rate the years.
Nintendo, Xbox, and
yeah.
Have you tried to play Stalker yet?
No, I'm just not going to try it on the Series S.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You're in Florida.
Yeah.
I have it downloaded. I haven't played it yet. Heard other than performance, people like it a lot. So we'll see. I did finally. I booted up Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I tried it when it first launched. I think I told you that it wouldn't load.
Didn't work.
And then because I had downloaded and I didn't realize it was on the cloud because I downloaded it and it's like 30 gigs. And I was like, man, it wasn't like 2020 like over 100. And then I read and it was like it was through the cloud. And I was like, okay, that's sure. And then not giving people the option to even just download it. You have to use the cloud. And then I finally got into like just the free mode or the free
flight.
Free flight. It looks worse than 2020 did. I don't know.
That does not bode well for my fantasy critic score.
Yeah, what is up with that? Because it doesn't even show a score.
I don't think there's enough reviews.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for? So this game has released and has an open critic page, but there are not enough reviews yet.
Okay, so it has 4 reviews, or sorry, three reviews. I think they need 4. One is an 80, one's an 8 out of 10, and one's a 7 out of 10. So it's hovering in that 7 to 8 range.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I think Indiana Jones is going to be pretty good. I think it's going to score in like the mid 80s at least. I think it's.
But do you have any more games coming out this year?
No,
for Fantasy
I'm
Critic?
cooked.
But you're ahead of me right now.
I am ahead of you. Technically, yeah.
You're ahead of me by 8 points.
Yeah. So.
And I think that's counting. That's counting Stalker.
Yeah, Stalker's. Yeah, Stalker.
God, it's got me 4 points. That
Oh
sucks, man.
God, it
But
scored 74. Okay, jeez.
if Prime 2 gets Shadow Drops,
See, yeah, that's what I'm holding out for.
that's like your Hail Mary.
Yeah. Oh, that would be crazy.
We'll see. All right.
And I thought Metal Gear Solid had a release date, but I guess it never did.
I I also thought it was 2024, but
I think, yeah, because Shadows got pushed back till February of next year. I mean, Hollow Knight, I could for
could
you.
come on. I don't
I
know.
doubt it. Not. That's 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 2, I guess it has a chance.
Yeah, I guess if yeah, if Flight Sim doesn't do well, then I need Indiana Jones to at least do like an 80.
Yeah, gets you an 80
Give me
and
there.
it'll get you across the finish line.
Oh boy. An Xbox game getting an 80? It's unheard of.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.